Most people think personality is fixed, that who you are was decided early in life. Psychology tells a different story. Human development unfolds in stages. And at every stage, the mind faces a central conflict. How that conflict is resolved quietly shapes how you relate to the world, to others, and to yourself. Psychologist Erik Erikson believed that life is not just biological growth, it's psychological negotiation. At each stage of life, we face a core issue. Not a test you pass or fail once, but a tension you learn to live with. Let's walk through these stages, from infancy to old age, and see how each one shapes the person you become. The first psychological question a human being asks is simple: is the world safe? Infants are completely dependent. They rely on caregivers for food, comfort, and protection. When care is consistent, warm, and responsive, the child develops trust. When care is unpredictable, neglectful, or harsh, the child learns mistrust. This early experience becomes a template. It shapes how we later approach relationships, authority, and uncertainty. As children learn to walk and speak, a new question emerges. Can I do things on my own? Toddlers test boundaries constantly. Not to be difficult, but to discover agency. Supportive guidance builds autonomy. Excessive control or punishment breeds shame and doubt. This stage influences confidence, independence, and willingness to try. Adults who struggle with self-doubt often carry unresolved tension from here. At this stage, imagination explodes. Children initiate play, invent roles, and explore purpose. The question becomes, is it okay for me to want things? To act? To lead? Encouragement builds initiative. Harsh criticism creates guilt around desire and action. Children begin measuring themselves against others. Grades, skills, social ability. The core question becomes, am I capable? Support and realistic challenge foster competence. Constant failure or criticism produces inferiority. This stage deeply affects work ethic, persistence, and self-worth. Adolescence is not rebellion, it's identity construction. Teenagers ask, who am I? What do I believe? Where do I belong? They experiment with roles, values, and groups. Successful exploration leads to identity. Pressure, suppression, or rigid expectations lead to role confusion. Many adult crises are unresolved identity questions from this stage. Once identity stabilizes, the next question is relational. Can I truly connect? This stage is about deep relationships: romantic, platonic, professional. Those who can be vulnerable experience intimacy. Those who fear loss or rejection drift toward isolation. Loneliness here is not about being alone. It's about being unseen. At midlife, attention shifts outward. The question becomes, what am I contributing? Generativity means creating value beyond the self, raising children, mentoring, building, teaching. Without purpose, people experience stagnation, a sense of emptiness or repetition. This stage often coincides with a reassessment of meaning. In later life, reflection becomes central. Acceptance leads to integrity. Regret and unresolved conflict lead to despair. This stage is less about achievement and more about meaning. Psychology also shows that intelligence changes with age. Fluid intelligence, speed, problem-solving, learning new information, peaks in early adulthood. Crystallized intelligence, knowledge, experience, judgment, continues growing well into later life. Modern society often overvalues speed and undervalues wisdom. But each stage offers a different kind of intelligence. Development doesn't stop, and stages don't disappear. We revisit these conflicts throughout life, in relationships, careers, and crises. A map that shows you where you've been, but more importantly, helps you navigate where you're going. You can't change the questions life asks you, but you can change your answers. It's about consciously choosing how you'll resolve the one you're in right now. So the question isn't just, who am I? It's, who do I choose to become? This is Reese from Powerful Individuals saying thanks for watching and subscribe for more insights into the psychology that shapes your life.